So I've been on Reddit, been joining the different subreddits, and actually shouts out to Black People Twitter. I've been getting the memes off on Black People Twitter, and I had a nice little hit record, if you will, that that I got like almost 1,000 likes on. Actually, I'm gonna share it here. I tweeted this and then took it to Reddit, and I said, "You ever see one of your exes post pictures of a kid who just graduated from high school, and you think, damn, I remember when she was a toddler and walked in on me smashing mommy in the other room. Boy, does time fly by."
Bro, I want to say that shit had me rolling because all right.
And I must say, true story.
Yo, I was gonna say, what's crazy about this is that when I was a sophomore, a real close lady friend of mine, she had just had a baby, stereotypical Latina, you know what I'm saying, 16, 17 years old, popping out a kid. But whatever, life paths, moved us apart. And then, of course, I'm saying, on the IGs or whatever, it's graduation time. Holy fuck! I remember this little kid rolling in the back of my seat because I had to give her a ride from high school, from school to daycare. And yeah.
Oh, no, I love it.
Yeah.
Yo, shouts out to some of the people, because actually, so that's the other thing I'm about to get into with Reddit, is that the Reddit community, especially if you get one that gets up votes or wherever, starts getting some attention, you'll get a lot of people talking on it. And as we've always joked with this podcast, we have some vocal fans who are I'd say friends for life now. Like I got a handful of people that like I'm cool with through the podcast now. But I would say that the great majority of the people who listen to us, much like you and me, Papo, are recluse. Not that social, we get in, get out, people talk on Reddit. And so I'm going to start taking some items to Reddit to start opening up some dialogue, if you will, because even like the post that I had about, the kid walking in, some dude chimed in and he had said that my ex's kids called us all the time, 5-year-old and 13-year-old who had autism. Ooh. She refused to even close her bedroom door, never mind lock it. After the 5th day in a row, I said I refuse to fuck if the kids are in the house. I had put out for 3 days, but we broke up not long after. He said, felt sorry for them kids. She wasn't the best mother. She'd swallow my kids and kiss them goodnight 30 minutes later without even brushing her teeth. Shouts out to the internet. I love you.
Yeah, shout out to realness. That's real shit. Because sometimes bitches ain't shit. Or hoes and shit. Yo, all right.
Look on the
just because it's on the top of my head and thinking back to that post, bro, how many times have you just scroll through something and you see that one chick, whether or not you smashed her, still doing the same fucking poses in a very similar settings. You can't tell if it's the same or not because it's looked the goddamn same for the past at least 10 years, 10 to 15 years. I'm thinking to myself, because she's pretty, right? She looks like she has all the things that one would want in at least someone to fuck for the evening. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, what is this bitch not doing right? Or doing that she's doing the same pose in this very similar settings for the past 10 years. She looks happy as hell. So is she just living her best life? Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just like
positive note.
I would say living their best life is just like the IG hoes, where you'll see a nice little one on IG, as you scroll through the timeline on there. And I always say, when you follow an IG model, pay very close attention to like the settings of the places she's in, because if every time she's taking pictures the background is always like a different room, she's in a hotel, she getting flown out. That's a prostitute.
Yeah.
That's a prostitute.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because some of those backgrounds should stay the same, just like you said. With some of the amateur hoes that you come to know through the days. But those professional ones, yeah, they're getting flown out to hotels. They're all over the place.
Yeah, and you know what? At the same time, goddamn, they must be living their best life. Though, because think about it. You know what I'm saying? A pussy is more than likely infinitely reusable, right? It makes the most profit. It's low overhead. It takes a little bit of douches and whatnot for proper cleaning and maintenance. But for the most part, you know what I'm saying, you're not really restocking on too much. And to get paid to be flown out, and I'm pretty sure they don't want you to have a bad time. I'm pretty sure, unless you're dealing with someone cheap, they don't want you to sit in a nice seat. You know what I'm saying? They want you to be in a good mood, become bearing fruits, if not, bearing gifts, fruits, papaya, pussy. You know what I'm talking about. So I don't know.
And that reminds me, do you remember this was a thing like several years back where it was a whole bunch of these chicks that kept flying out to Abu Dhabi. They kept heading over there to Abu Dhabi as their economy was booming, and all these hoes kept, I'm out here in Abu Dhabi. A chick spilled the tea, if you will, on what was going on out there. She had some homegirls that she was friends with, and her homegirls were making a gang of money, basically, living their best life. And they were flying out there, and they'd come back with stacks. And so finally, one of the girls was like, "Yo, I want in. I want to know what y'all doing. I want to get in." So they was like, "All right." So it was like, "We're gonna fly out there," and then it was like, we'll put you up on game. But then they just kind of like warned her, like, just giving you a heads up that like it ain't gonna be easy. So just stick it out. We're gonna make a whole bunch of money. So she's cool. So she told the story how basically she was out there in Abu Dhabi for 3 days, and she made like close to 6 figures. But it was a bunch of princes from over there, if you will, and they was fucking the chicks, they was pissing on them, they was shitting on them, they was choking them, body slamming them, they was getting
body slamming. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's a logical step. You're gonna stick your dick in their fucking esophagus. I mean.
So it was like all money ain't good money, and so she made her money. She came back, and I don't think she's going back anymore. But it was funny because there was a whole lot of talk. There was a whole lot of IG models, if you will, for a few years who kept flying in and out of Abu Dhabi, and then they was getting their body put together, if you will, and now it's like, oh, I see what y'all was doing. Ugh.
Bro, I mean, you think about it though. And like part of my logic is like, oh well, you figure they're from the middle, this certain part of the east where say maybe I'm dealing with the 1 to 2 inches, maybe it won't be so bad. Well, yeah, there's about 15 princes, their brothers, their cousins, and you know what I'm saying, and everyone has a really shitty curry diet out there. So I mean, you just imagine it didn't go.
And they all got machetes, so you better listen.
I don't catch that reference. But
machetes, the knife.
Yeah, but why would they have machetes? Is that a thing?
Motherfuckers crazy. They be cutting heads off.
Oh yeah.
What happened to the Saudi dude? They be the motherfuckers crazy. Heads
you're talking about the guy that was went to the not the Capitol, but the little
embassy.
Embassy, bro. Yeah. They had someone fucking dressed up like him, and you normally you get a body double. Isn't it look something similar? No, it was the motherfucker twice his age, I think twice as dark, but he was wearing his clothes. Like, okay, you figure like, you think cameras can't see this shit? Like, even the the shittiest of fucking first gen smartphones can be depixelated to fucking show the, I don't know, something's gonna get you in trouble. I don't know how the fuck I jumped into this, but seriously though, like I'm just wondering, I'm thinking to be the motherfuckers from Abu Dhabi, motherfuckers sending you the email change, and Prince of Saudi Arabia, say just scrolling through IG, ooh, I want to fuck this one.
I want that one. I want that one to choke. I want that one to choke on my logs. That one right there. Ooh. She would make a nice toilet. That one right there.
How can I get this bitch? Oh, click on her bio. Oh, that's convenient. You know what I'm saying? And it's
He's trying to make some real money.
I wonder what template this motherfucker has for when he tries to holler at bitches. So motherfuckers have it. Like at some point too, I remember shout out to this fucking autistic racist fucking German guy I used to work with, and he was racist as fuck because you could tell by how blonde his hair was and how fucking blue his eyes were. Besides him actually telling me
deep Aryan blood.
Oh bro, oh yeah, he was very happy to tell me that he comes from Germany lineage, one of those motherfuckers. And I guess he put me on game because I just never thought of it before. He was hoe hunting on whatever dating app was happening at the time. This might have been during the POF days. And this motherfucker was like, I was like, dude, you're just sending random message to bitches? He's like, well, yeah. He's like, it's like fishing. And mind you, white boy, fucking country bumpkin going fishing. You know, so he's like, you know, sometimes you're gonna get them, sometimes you're not. You know, and I'm not. And I guess one would think, oh, if you invest into some expensive bait, then you know maybe you might lure a good one. But it's a numbers game, is what he was kind of putting me on to.
Yep.
And so
what they say, you gonna miss 100 of the shots you don't shoot.
Yo. And he was about that shit. I never seen copy and paste used on a phone before I met this cat. But apparently.
Oh, yeah.
If you didn't like this podcast, it's probably cause you're racist.
Yeah.
Fuck your feelings though.
Yeah. What's up, man? You hear me?